Hi there, great to see you again. This is Susie Vine with 3X Less Stress. I am your resilience coach, here with another short tidbit for you to take away and integrate into your practice of living with less stress so you can have more resilience and vitality. And one thing I want to talk about today is how we can reframe our response to stress, our approach to stress even. We can reframe the way that we meet it. And this was inspired by a really fantastic TEDx video that I found by Kelly McGonigal, a health psychiatrist and researcher who has been working in studies to see how people respond to stress and what their physical reaction is. I highly recommend the video. You should absolutely check it out. Take the 10-15 minutes and see how it shifted her perspective and the way she's approaching her work. And it definitely changed the way that I language the work that I do about helping people recognize and resolve stress. I've never said that I'm about managing stress, because you don't want to cultivate something. You manage your money, you manage your career, you manage your resources. Do you want to manage stress and bring it up to that level of something that is always going to be around? However, while we don't want to cultivate stress, we also don't want to make it out to be only a detriment. Because stress has benefits. We learn from stress. We're inspired by stress. It invigorates us. It challenges us. It teaches us lessons, because those lessons we learn the hard way tend to really stick. I don't know if you've heard this before, but I love the saying, bad experiences are like Velcro and good experiences are like Teflon. And I'll be talking a lot more about that in another video that I've got about how you can cultivate happiness. But when you think about it, it makes sense. We're wired to remember the difficult experiences because that's how we learn. And we don't run around that bush where the tiger hangs out, right? So we have to hit that fight or flight response and run for our lives. It's very primitive wiring that we're working with here. We have evolved very quickly with not a lot of time for biology to catch up with us. So we recognize this fight or flight response. Everyone's aware of that. The opposite of that is the rest or digest, the parasympathetic system response. And that is where we want to come back to, because that's where our body can restore itself and rejuvenate and be ready to meet the next stressor. So we've got the sympathetic response and the parasympathetic, and we tend to think of that sympathetic, the fight or flight response, as something that is hindering us. Our heart is racing. It's raising our blood pressure. I already have bad blood pressure. This is a problem. I can't handle this kind of stress. We tend to bundle it all together like that. And what Kelly McGonigal found in her studies was when they helped their subjects reframe stress, and instead of seeing that stress response as something that could harm their health or inhibit their response and ability to meet the challenge of that stressful incident, if we reframe that rush of blood, that adrenaline that we feel as our body is invigorated, it is rising to the challenge, feel the strength that we have to meet any challenge. Instead of something that risks our health, we can choose to frame stress as an opportunity to demonstrate our ability and to come out of it stronger. If we can make that pivot, what they found in their study is that people had less physical reaction to their stress, because our mind shapes the way that we perceive everything. And it's hard to do this only in the moments of stress. So as I've mentioned in other videos, you have to practice this when it's a little easier, when the stress is small, when it's something that comes in the mail, when the phone rings and it's somebody you don't want to talk to. You can, whenever you notice that the very beginnings of that fight or flight response, you can reframe it to think about how energized you are, how strong you are to meet this challenge, how grateful you are that your body is up to the demands that it faces every day. And when you make that shift and you celebrate your strength, then that's going to help reframe so that you are ready to meet the challenges that we are going to meet through the course of life, because life is never without stress. But what we can control is how we respond to it. So I invite you to try this out. I would love to hear what you think. Please let me know in the comments below, and I'll share some links to other videos if you want to continue exploring this concept of reframing your approach to stress. There's a lot of power in taking a pause. There's a lot of power in getting curious about what is stressing you out, how it's making you feel, and you can also choose your mood and decide which emotions you want to be bringing in. So I'd love for you to do a little bit more exploration. I hope this is something that resonates, and I'd love to hear how you feel about it in the comments. Thank you. I hope you stay healthy and well.